going to start Leetcode question, and let's see the today questions we have. Today question have 57 of the Leetcode, and it's saying insert interval. Let's read the question. You are given an array of non-overlapping intervals. This intervals is given, and intervals of I is a start and end. That represent the start and end of the ith interval, and intervals is sorted ascending order by start I. So you are given an interval. New interval is start and end that represent the start and end of another interval. Okay, so insert new interval into the intervals. We have to insert into intervals that such as it is sorted in ascending order by start and end, still does not have any overlapping intervals, so most overlapping intervals if necessary. We have to return intervals after insertion. Okay, once we have merged, or you can say inserted new intervals into that, then we have to return. Let's suppose we have example this one. So example this, let's read. We have given two value we have given in the intervals. New interval is 2 5, right? So we have to insert into this. If that is possible, then we will return new one. Okay, so it is saying that we have output 1569, right? So if after insertion, if this is insertion is done, then we will return its interval value, right? So let's understand the overlapping, how we will overlap this one. So it is saying that this is start. Let's suppose this is start and this is end, correct? Sorry, end. So initially it is given 1 2 2 3, right? 1 2 3, and it is going to till what? I'll represent 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, like this, right? So this is its a start interval, and this is our end interval from here, right? From here. So now we have 6 and 9. Another interval is what? 6 and 9. So interval in the sense we can do like this one, right? This is the things we have given to interval 1 and interval 2, right? Now in the intervals we have to add 2 and 5. So we have to create one from 2 to 5, this interval, right? So after this merge, if you see that this is the point, right? From here to here, right? This is overlapping. So this part is get overlap, right? This part is get overlap, right? So what we will do, we will start. This is our index is what? Value we start is 1, and this is what? And is 5, and in between this will get overlap. The previous one will get overlap. This part will get overlap. So after insertion, right? After insertion, what we should do? We will give this one new one. This inserted, this start will give, and this end will give, and this is not get overlap, right? So this is fine, but this is get overlap. So we will remove this one. We will not consider this part because this is already overlapping intervals, right? So we don't have to show this one, this part, and that's why if you see the output, we will have 1 5 and 6 9 as a output, correct? Similarly, if you'll talk about this one, right? This, and this. If you'll draw like this one, right? If you'll pass the 4 and 9, so you will have the intervalize 1 2 3 8 3 10 and 12. This one, right? So let me consider here. So I'll start from 1 to 16, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 and 16. These are given, right? So if we'll start from what? First interval is given this one and this one. Second is given this one and this 3 and 5, sorry, 3 and 5 is given. First interval is this, second interval is this, then 6 7, then we have 6 7, then we have 8 10, 8 to 10 we have given, then we have got 12 to 16, 12 to 16 we have given, like this we have given. Now new is 4 and 8. 4 is here and 8 is here, right? So we have overlap these three, correct? So new one, this is the start point 3, and this is the 8. 8 is the end point, right? So this end will not get end here, it will get end here. So we have to not consider this one, and we will not consider this part and this part, right? We will not consider. So this is our start point, this point is a start point, and this point is end point for this one, right? And let and 3 will get overlap. Now if we'll read this, now the new interval will look like what 1 to 2 will remain same, right? 1 to 2 will remain same. Now from 3 to 10 we have the new one, and 11 will remain same. 11 we have remain same. From 12 to 16 will look like this one. Okay, so the three interval we have, the interval 1 is 1 2, now interval 2 is 3 to 3 10, and interval 3 is 12 to 16, and you will see this output, right? So we have to consider like this. Okay, I think we have covered these two examples, and we have understand the questions. Let's go to see the approaches, right? So we can do by these two approaches. Either we'll use linear search or we'll do binary search, right? So this, I will create two part of these questions, right? The first we'll go through the linear search, and then we will go with the binary search. Okay, so I'll post these two videos for based on the title. You will understand linear search or binary search. Let's consider on the browser. So we are here at the browser at Leetcode, and we have given intervals we have given, and new intervals we have given. So what we should do here, we should first insert interval before merge the process, right? So how we will do that? Let's suppose we will create a method that will insert the intervals, right? Insert intervals, sorry, interval will create a method insert interval and method, right? Insert interval function. Okay, so this function, no need to write the function, fun will say. Okay, so this insert interval function will do insertion, right, in this one, right? We have given those two things, intervals we have given and new intervals we have given. We will insert this, right? Okay, and after this insertion, right, after this insertion, what we will do, we will after this interval what we will do, we will have our this interval, right? So this interval after insertion it should look like new interval, right? So the new interval will be this interval only, right? So after insertion we have a new interval, and that interval we have to update, you can say that. Okay, so if we have did this, right, let's see, we have did this after we have inserted into intervals, right? So how we will insert this one? Let's suppose we have this function, right? So we'll insert this one, and it will return what, which type? It will return in this, like this one, right? So let's see, I have this function, so I'll write this intervals, and this interval will have the name what, this one, right? This one. So we have created this one like this, and it will take two parameter. It will take these two as an input. We're passing intervals here and new intervals here, right? So we'll pass these two here. Got it? Now two things we have done. First we have called this function, and then we are creating this function. So when this function we will create, right, we have to take care two things. Will this inserts or not? So we'll take a flag that will say boolean, and we'll say is inserted, right? Is inserted, is inserted, right? Is inserted in interval, is inserted new interval. Have we inserted this interval, new interval, right? Have we inserted this new interval? We'll say if we have inserted this new interval, right, then it will return true, otherwise it will return false. This is our false. So what we will do here, we will create a what list, right? For this one, how we will create, we will take a arrays dot list, right? And we will add on there, right? So we have arrays, right? And we'll do as a list, right? As list, this function, and this function will take intervals, correct? So this, when we have this one, right, means we have created this array, we have converted into what, array list. Either you'll directly write this one, or we will add into the array list, right? We'll do that also. So you can do like this also. We have what, we have list of, we want to convert list of what, array, right? List of array, that is like this, and we want to make the list, right? We want to make the list. This is our list, right? And we'll say that this is the new array list, correct? And this array list is what, like this. So we have to pass this one into where, on the list. We want to convert the array into a list, got it? We want to convert the array into the list, right? So we have our intervals, we will convert the intervals into what, into a list, that we have done. Now what we should do, we will move over the loop, right? We will move over the loop. How we will do that? We will create we will move to all the given intervals. That intervals will start from I equal to 0, and then we will move to what, I should be less than equal to intervals we have given, these intervals we have given here, right? So we'll move to intervals dot its length, right? Till that we will move, and I plus plus. Two things we have already done, right? And then we have created this one, correct? Now we are moving to here. Now what we will do, we'll check if new interval, that new interval we have here, if new interval at 0 is less than the interval we have, right, at what, its index I have at 0, row I at 0, if we will have what, this is less than, right, means interval is greater and new interval is smaller, then what we will do, we have found the position and we will insert the interval here, and we will not go further, right? So we'll say that we have found our position to insert this interval, this new interval, right? How will get this? We will do list, then we will do add, okay, list dot add will call, and this function is what, will pass I and its new interval, this one, right? Now this, after this insertion, this value should be true because we have inserted. Now it should be updated as true, and we do not need to go further because we have already inserted the given interval. Now we will do break, we will not go further, we will break, right? So if this loop is completed, right, now what we should do, we will check if there is no interval with a greater value of start value, and then the interval value must be inserted at the end of the list, right? So what we will do, if not what, if not inserted, if this is means false, right, means we have to add list dot, we will do add, I will add into the, we will add new interval, this new interval we will add here in the last, right? Okay, okay. Now this part is done. Now what we will do, we will return the list into, we will do to array, and we'll have our list, and we list will return back to its integer form, right? This one, and this is what our new what list dot our size not coming. Okay, we'll pass like this. Okay, what we have, list dot to array, and we'll pass new list, sorry, we'll pass new list, at new list the size, and 2 will pass, correct, size of the list and its position, right, we will pass. Now we were here, so this is inserted, interval is now inserted. Now you have our new now you have new intervals, right? So what we should do here, we will create our answer. Let's suppose this is your answer. Okay, so if we'll talk about, we will create this object like this. Okay, like this. So this is our what answer, this is our answer, and this answer we will have a list of the same we will pass, but we are not passing the value, so we will initialize like this one only, but we'll update its value. How will update? We have to move to all its interval, right? Like this we have did already. We'll go and we'll, so we have our current interval. How we'll get our current interval? Current interval is, we have our current interval, and this current interval is what? Our interval at I at 0 will pass, correct, and then we will pass what? Interval at I and 1, correct. We will after summarization I'll put this value, don't worry. So what we have, how we'll get the current interval? We have current interval. How we'll get this? Because current interval is an array, right? So current interval at 0 and at 1 at a particular what row is current interval, correct. Current interval at a particular row I, what we have, at 0 is starting, at 1 is ending, right? Two things we have, right? Now we will merge the list and we'll say if overlap is found or not found, right? So how we'll do that? We'll make a while loop and we'll say if I is less than what? We have interval dot length. If I is less than interval dot length, and we will create a function that will check that do we have overlapping in the interval or not. We'll say is overlap is overlap is overlap function will call, and this function will check the what overlapping is there or not, so it will return true or false. Okay, so we'll pass our current interval that we have already created here. This is our current interval we pass, and then we will pass our intervals at that value. Intervals will pass at I. So this will go, start and end will go here, right? So we will call this one. So we will proceeding here. What we will do, we will create this function externally, and then this function, let me write here. I'll create here. Okay, I will create this function here, and we'll say that this function will return true or false. That does it is it overlapping or not. So this function will take like this only, and we'll say this function will take boolean, right? It will return true or false, right? And current interval will pass, means current interval is what? Let's see, current interval is what? X, or the interval at y we can say is y. We should pass two things. The mean value means max value, right? So this is math.mean, x of 1 and y minus 1 will pass, right? Like that. So mean value and max value will get, and then we'll do that. Is it overlapping or not? That one we will give, right? You know the overlapping, right? How we'll get that? So we'll find the minimum, mean and max, and if we'll do the minus, then it will return if this is we are getting some value, means we are have minimum or maximum value is overlapping or not, right? Now what we should do here, this function will return you is a boolean function, true or false. So if I is less than intervals value, and it should be overlap, right? Means we found what? We found that this is the no overlapping is found, right? It means we can say that this function we can merge this list, right? We can merge because what? No overlapping found. No overlapping found. And that case we can do merge, right? So here we'll do, how we'll do this? How we'll do that? We have the current interval, right? This current interval we have. So this current interval we will do a merging here. Let's see, we'll create a function merge intervals, right? Intervals. Let's suppose we will merge intervals. So once we will pass this merge interval, we have to pass current intervals, and then we have to pass intervals at that value, right? These two things we will pass, and then we'll do I plus plus, and once if that is not the case, we'll do decrement I minus minus if we found the overlapping. And we have the answer, right? So at answer we will, on the output we can say we will add our current interval like this. So we have to create this function intervals, and this will return you back, right? So let's go back here only we'll create this function. So this function is what? It will take two parameters, merge intervals, and merge intervals take two parameter, current interval and interval at value. Let's see, as we have suppose for overlapping, we'll take x and y here, current interval and the value that we're getting. So it should return what? Current interval. What is current interval? This is array. So I'll pass this one. Oh, sorry, I have copied I think almost everything. So I'll take this one, correct? This one. So two things we have here. Now the merge interval will give what? X and y. X and y value we will get, right? So sorry, we interval we have array form, right? So we have to, this is also array form, so we have to do array form only. This is also array form, and this will also be array form, because the current is what I have just seen. Current is what? Our current interval, right? So current interval is in the array, so we have to pass in the array only. Okay, so it will return you back in the array form. Okay, now when we have x and actually we have created this merge, it means we have to create this merge, right? And this merge should return what? Two things. The first is what? At index it should be its zero value, and at this should be the max value. Which one is max, that will be returned, and which one is minimum, that is our start. So this is a start and this is end. So this should be a minimum maximum value, and this should be maximum. So start and end will depend. So start should be minimum and between them, and end should be maximum between them, right? And that will come as a new interval, and this interval we have to return it back, right? So we have to return this back like this. So everything is done now. Let's recap again. Okay, so what we have did here, we have our insert function, right? And it is taking intervals and new intervals. Now we are doing can we insert or not. So after the insert function, it will give you again the this one, right? Insert function we have. So after insertion it will give the interval, right? So if we'll go to the insert function, what it is doing, it is taking is insert is possible or not. So it will take a boolean insert value, and we have converted all the intervals into a list form. After that we will move to all the intervals, and we'll check if it is if new interval at starting, sorry, as new interval as starting is 0 uh, at the given value, means that we have already, it will come between that, then we will merge this one, right? And we'll say that we have to merge on the list, and we'll update it, that is merges inserted, sorry, not merge, inserted. And then if we are not inserted, then we'll pass at the last of that interval, and we'll pass into the array form. So this part I think you have understood. After that we'll take an answer and we'll return that answer, right? So uh, we are here, right? So I think we have not returned the answer. So what we have to do after this value, right? After this value, what we should do, we have to return the answer. Okay, so here we have to return answer. This is the function, I think, in the for loop. After this we have to return, yeah. So we will return what? Answer. Our answers will be returned into array. We have already converted into array. So we'll see, we have here like this, we will return, and this is our answer. We will update our answer here. So answer we will update into answer.array, and we'll pass this same way. Okay, so let me check again. So we were here, right? So we have inserted that interval if we are possible to insert. After that we have answer, and we'll go to all its interval, and we'll do if the overlap, if the current interval we have and current interval is mapping. So we can, if no interval no overlapping found, then we'll merge, and if not found, then we'll do the merge, right? And we'll check is overlapping. If overlapping, that is fine, we don't need to do anything, it is already merged. If not match overlap, then we have to merge this one like this, and then we will return the answer finally after adding all current interval onto that, right? So we'll return. So we will see this in merge intervals. So merge interval is what we have this one. So how we'll merge that? New interval we have to create, in which one is the smallest is our start, and which one is the max value between these two, that is our end, and that is our new interval. And this new interval is get into added into the merge interval, right? And we will form the new interval, and this new interval should be added into the answer. Otherwise, if we will not inserting and we have the overlapping, means we have to add on to the answer only, and it will return there. Means two things we have to take care: is able to insert or not. If we are able to insert this, that fine. If we are not going to insert this, then we have to find overlapping. If that is not overlapping, means we have to merge. Okay, run it. Okay, we are having one error at line number 5. We are getting list, so this should be like this. Okay, now run this. We have the same problem at line number 33. I did a mistake. Line number 33 is here. Okay. Here. Okay, let me run this again. Line number 7. Line number 7, what is saying? We have intervals. We are passing two things at I, at 1, and at this one. Will it not take? It should take actually. Intervals. Okay, spelling is mistake. We have to take care of the misspellings. Okay, now run this. Line number 16. Here answer. We have our answer spelling is mistake. We have to update our answer spelling. Let's run this. Line number 19. We are passing what? Answer. The to array. Yeah, we are passing answer, right? Answer to array new list. List should be here what? Answer, correct? Let me run this. We have copied that one, right? Now it is saying in incompatible type. Integer cannot be converted to boolean at the line of 28. Let's go and say. So it is saying that math.mean we have, and we are passing two things. These two things we are passing, right? Math.mean we are passing, and it is saying it will not return, right? Yeah. We have did one mistake here. This mean we have, after the mean we'll check, right? If the mean value is greater than equal to 0, right? Whatever the will do minus, it will come if that is overlapping. If it is 0 greater than equal to 0 means then fine, means we are overlapping, right? Yeah. Thank you so much guys. Let me submit this one. So as I told you, there is two things, right? Either you'll ping me the comment box, right? Or about the complexity, or I'll create another part of video in which we will discuss about the sorting, another sorting, right? Bubble sort, and in we will pass, we will understand the complexity there.